Hello everyone, welcome to our new moon in Libra solar eclipse report. Now it's going to be a mini report. I'm not going to do too much. I say this and never know, I'll probably ramble on, but we'll see how we go. I'm not doing taglines anymore, although if there were a tagline for this one, it'd be get all your relationships in order under the Libra's airy cardinal influence. So we've got our a new moon Libra solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. It's at 8:40, hang on, bear with me 2 seconds. It's at 2:48 p.m. Eastern time and at 7:48 p.m. UK time. If you're in any other area, any other region, you're going to have a look and find out where it is for you, what time it is for you, right? So I won't think too much about it anyway, just listen to the report, see the things that may be coming up for you and sort of work towards those. Now, what I want to tell you first is because it's eclipse season, what eclipses are here to help you to shift. So there's going to be like a 6-month hiatus where you're kind of being forced almost or brought to a space where you need to shift things. Now, because it's Libra, it's about balance, it's harmony, it's connecting into justice, a fairness, that kind of thing. And it's also linked into relationship because Libra is ruled by Venus. Now, this eclipse is going to help you over the 6-month period it can be cataclysmic because it's an eclipse, but it's going to help you to redefine how you move forward. Now, something I do want to say is that I'm going to be doing this complete report in pieces. I'm going to do it in chapters. So it may not be chapters down there, but I'm going to pause for a moment, check in what I want to say, and so I can bring it to you cleanly and clearly, mostly because my notes are actually on the computer and trying to read them is really difficult. So the other things that it links to are things like connecting in to where you're being boundaryless, because Libra can be a bit of a people pleaser, okay? And because that people pleasing element, we want to embrace the high vibratory traits of the Libra sign, not the low vibratory traits of the Libra sign. So this kind of brings up a sense of new beginnings from disruptions, okay? There's a lot coming up at this moment in time. You're being called to really kind of focus, okay? You know, like I say, you're being asked to look at the goodness around things, the goodness around what has been going on in your life, and also look at the things that aren't working so well and start to think about how you're going to respond to those. I hope that makes sense, because what it is, so I'm just put my paper up there so I can see it. I've got a little bit of paper with a bit of writing on it, but it's not much. So, but yeah, it's to kind of connect into that. Now, this eclipse in Libra is important in the sense that we're not going to have anything like this for some time. So I think it's 20 years so we'll get another one like this. So yeah, so take this opportunity, okay? You're being called to get your relationship space right now. You know, think about balance and fairness and justice, okay? The eclipse is going to kind of almost force you to look back at what it is that you need to create harmony, and how are you creating harmony? How can you create harmony? What can you do? Now, there's an interesting aspect here in this chart, and it's that Venus is actually in Scorpio and Venus is the ruler of Libra, which is going to change the way that this actually comes up. So where, if it was in one of the more broader or wilder signs, it might have been more that you were being kind of pushed to sort of bring it all out into the open. This is Scorpio, so it's secretive, and it wants the truth to happen. It wants to have divine counterpart kind of relationships, whether you're in this kind of thing or not. It wants to have a relationship that's sound with all people. And because Libra is all about harmony, it's really weird with Libra because it's a harmonious sign, yet it often lets everyone off in order to create that harmony, and that's not what this is calling for. And this is why it's, with Venus in Scorpio, it's kind of pulling you in a way to make amends with that kind of thinking and behavior. It's saying to you, no, this is not how you're going to do it, because if you do it this way, then you are still in that people pleaser mode. So it's asking you to come out of that mode into a more, I guess, more of a it's kind of like that birth, death, rebirth cycle of what's going on here. So clearing out what doesn't need to be in the energy or field, letting that die, bringing the relationship back to a reborn status, and then continuing from that space. Sorry, excuse me, I need to cough. Sorry, I want to try and pause this, but won't let me. So Venus is also trining with Saturn, which is asking you to build something that's a bit more long lasting, something that's got more depth to it, you know, and you're being called in a lot of ways to check out the shadow aspect with what's going on in your relationships. And this is intimate as well, intimate and personal, as well as relationships with, say, parental figures or friends, things like that. There's things that need to be closed out, and the angels are saying it's really important because Libra energy doesn't want any fuss or struggle. It wants harmony, it wants balance, it wants a sense of feeling more rounded and grounded. It does not want flightiness, which is funny because Libra is an air sign and it's ethereal and it is flighty in some senses, and it struggles to commit and that kind of thing, but it actually wants, but this is kind of like, how to explain it to you, these are the Libra things that need to be healed, so it needs this. So in this energy with this new moon, you need this, okay? You need this. You need that harmony. You need that definite kind of connection into feeling more supported. Now, something I want to say about this, if you can remember back into 2005, 2006, what was going on in your life, this will be the same themes coming up now that came up then. So what were you doing 2005, late 2005 to early 2006? What were you doing? What was going on? What were you thinking about, right? It's quite interesting because it has a very similar energy and vibration. Now, if you can't remember what that was, which and I can't, so if you can, great. If you can't, great too. Then, you know, just recognize that something's coming up and something needs to shift, because there is a shift pattern here. There's like a shift energy here being shown, and I can see that as I look in the chart. Now, there's 4 to 5 planets that are retrograde. I'm going to count Chiron, so we say 5 planets are retrograde, and you're kind of being gently led to kind of go inwards because there's a sense of retrospection because of the retrogrades. So you're being asked to be retrospective. What needs to close out? What needs to heal? What do you need to do? How are you going to do it? There's those questions kind of being brought up. Now, I would say, and this is very, very important, because you're in initiation, Libra here in this new moon is asking you to initiate a change with the solar eclipse pushing you from behind, saying, come along now, let's do this, right? But what I would say is wait, because it's quite bombastic, I suppose is a good word for it. I would wait for it to ease before you actually make any of these changes or start the work towards it, because there's breakthroughs coming, yet they kind of need to percolate, because if you don't let them percolate, then you could, this is kind of, what this is it's warding against impulsivity. Now, those of you who are prone to impulsivity, watch out, because impulsivity isn't the right thing right now. You need to have some kind of thinking or reasoning and understanding before you do what you're going to do, okay? Remember that Libra wants to highlight what is just, okay? And this eclipse is saying we're moving into creating something that's good for all of us, not just some of us. It's kind of like, the other interesting thing, I suppose, as well, is that Pluto is in Capricorn at the moment and will be until the end of November, I think it is. I can't remember fully. I never remember these things fully. I have to write them down because of my dyscalculus and dyslexia. I sometimes forget these points. But, yeah, Pluto's in Capricorn, which is the old order. So that needs to shift as well. And what I get from this solar eclipse is that because it's over the 6 months, and obviously it'll be out of Capricorn by then, it's about how we shift this now, because this is it. This is the last time it's going into Capricorn. So it's about shifting that and recreating a strong foundation that we can move forward from. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here in this Libra new moon, right? The other thing about Libra, we need to remember it's a leader. It's a cardinal sign, which means it wants to get everything right anyway. It wants to orderly lead things. with diplomacy. Yes, it can be a little bit indecisive. However, it knows what it wants, really. It really does, okay? Want to talk a little bit about the protective element that's being shown in this chart. So we've got the Mars squaring the Sun. Sorry, I've got it written in my notes. I'm just trying to read it. Moon, and because it's like a cardinal ground cross, and it's bringing this super powerful energy in, which says that we're kind of moving into a different frequency. Basically, there's going to be a whole new frequency opening up. Okay. Now, like I say, because of the slowness of the retrogrades, and there's also the conjunction between Mercury and Libra going on, there's a lot of mind stuff and thoughts coming up, which is why allow that retrospection and that inverted thinking rather than pushing yourself forward, and allow the mind stuff of Mercury, because Mercury will make your mind overreactive. Now, the solar eclipse is also asking you to release some energy, and it's asking you what's closing out for you, as I've said already. Actually, I've said that already, and you're being asked to be objective in this balance. Okay, you kind of want to look at evaluating what you'd like to create. Okay. Now, we already talked about the intensity of Venus in Scorpio, which is your invitation to look at your emotions, to check in with what's going on, to understand why. This isn't the Libra you would know. This is kind of trying to find out what you need to understand. It's trying to recognize what needs to happen in order for you to start feeling better. And there's another point to this, and it leads into Libra's capacity to over people please and try and help others and always put others before itself. Do not take other people's baggage on as your own, because this is what can happen in this energy. And you know, in this, and then also I want to point out this, there's a trine here, okay, and it's a water trine, grand water trine, and it's Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer with Saturn, Mars, and obviously Venus, okay. And it's about you allowing the seas almost to, it's like the seas, the water, to cleanse away what doesn't work for you, right? It's about letting your private life be awakened so you can grow deeper, stronger relationships, because this is all about relationship, but it's also about kind of looking at where unpleasantness might have been. Where in your childhood were you imprinted in not a good way? There's a lot of emotionality, okay. You are going to feel upset possibly to some degree, and but I want you to remember the Saturn energy, because it's going to help you with your heart energy. It's going to help you with closing out, healing, dealing, working on the Libran areas of your chart. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look into your astrology chart, okay? And you need to look at what house Libra is actually in, all right? Because that's going to help you to see what you are actually working on. You see, the areas you're working on with regard to that will be this will be what will come up in your energy, okay? It'll be what comes up in your energy field, and literally kind of says to you, this is what needs to be done right now. So as I said, Saturn's actually going to guide you to some degree, and, you know, say to you, look, this is what you need to do now, this is where you need to go, and you are being supported in a really, really high way. You know, you want to step into heart energy, which is what Libra espouses, you know, with its link to Venus. And, you know, there's a desire that Libra doesn't really want to go back to these areas of the chart. Libra wants to say, I've done this stuff, I've already completed it. You know, I don't want to have the same old occurring in my life. You know, I want to know what I need in my life. And remember that Libra is the negotiator, so it's able to create this. It's able to work this out. You know, you're being asked to move away from the old way of thinking. You know, let everything go. You're literally, no word of a lie, in a space where you can do this as well, because the old is outgrowing. You're outgrowing the old, so you can let go. You know, the Saturn retrograde will help you to slow this down. That's something I want to say. And yeah, it should be good So the Saturn retrograde in Pisces is saying, you know, let go of what's not good for you. It's saying less is more. And just remember that the solar eclipse is a new beginning, and most endings help to clear energy. They help you to clear out. Sorry, hang on. This sorry, I just need to close this up. It's my chart. So yeah, they help you to clear out. They help you to energetically vibrate at a better level. Now, I was meant to make this a mini report, but it's not really working, is it? I want to do our 2 cards now. We got our tarot deck. We're using the original Rider Waite Tarot deck, concealed by White and designed by Pamela Coleman-Smith. So let's get a couple of cards for today and see what today's energy. Now, this isn't just for today. It lasts 3 days over. Okay. So 3 days energy, and we're going to look at what the cards want to tell us. I'm going to try and get these reports out a bit earlier soon. I said this before, haven't I? But I've had a lot going on in my life, actually. So that's been a little bit tricky. So let's have... Whoa! Good stuff, okay? So, first card, you've got the devil, and it makes a lot of sense that you've got the devil, okay, with the energy that's kind of permeating around this, yeah? A couple of things actually more I want to say, but yeah, the devil is about being bound to things that are no good for you. So for some of you, relationship may need to close out. For others of you, it's about recalibrating the relationship that you're in and getting rid of the energy and the vibration that isn't good for it. The angels are saying stop holding on to energy and behaviors that are not good for you. So they're talking about boundaries. They're talking about accepting conditions that are just vibrationally unsound for you. They're saying to me to tell you guys that if you stay bound to unhealthy, toxic environment, I got it. Bound to unhealthy, toxic people and environments, you are doing it to yourself, they're saying. So they're saying move forward so you're not in those kind of environments anymore. And they're talking about making it a plus. So they're talking about a plus, so good vibration as opposed to a negative, which is bad vibration, okay? They're saying this you can stay bound, that's your choice. Yet they say that your unhealthy situations need to close out. There's no reason to be living in them. You need to know better. What was going on? Try and remember, if you can, 2005 to early 2006. I think I know what mine was, actually. I do know what it is. And it's about removing yourself from where there's toxicity that binds you in your life, okay? It's very important because you need to look at where you're giving your power away. You need to look at where you're making yourself smaller than you need to be. And that Libra trait I was talking about, which is, you know, saying, oh, it's all okay, just so you can have harmony, right? Now, the thing that's so gorgeous about this is when then you've got the wish card. It's the 10 of Cups. This is literally telling you, you can have it all. You can have happy family, happy home. You can have all of these things in the vibration and the harmony of Libra linked to Venus, which is beautiful, and it's beauty and it's bounty and it's happiness and it's fairness and it's justice and it's peace and it's equability and it's homeostasis, everything in there. It's all available to you under this new moon. You can begin this journey. You've got 6 months. So this takes you to, so we're October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So April is when you'll be closing out your deal. You'll be stepping into the new vibration. Not necessarily in April, but through this 6 months, you can create the new thing because you're releasing the old and you're stepping into the new vibrationary consciousness that's going to make things better for you. Now, in this chart, this new moon also links to the South Node. So it's saying to you the things that need to close out are what your South Node issue is. Now, the South Node is where you're coming from and the North Node is where you're going, okay? So say your South Node, for example, is in the star sign of Cancerian, okay? So if it's in Cancer, you've learned all the lessons of happy family, happy home. You've learned all those lessons, okay? And you're moving to, would be the opposite's Capricorn. So you're moving to independence and running your own life, not relying on others. You're going there. So if that is, for example, your South Node, now I'm just an example, by the way, this is just an example. All of you will not have your South Node in Cancerian. That was just an example. But if it is, say it is in Cancerian, you need to close out those issues and start moving onto the track of where Capricorn wants to take you. All right. So do check out in your chart a couple of things. Check out where Libra falls, which house it falls in your chart. So we have 12 houses. Which house does it fall in? See what that house means. Okay, and if you don't know, you don't understand, please drop a comment in below and I will explain it to you. Same with your South Node. If you're not quite sure, let me have a look at your chart. Happy to do that for you, and then we can have a look at what it is for you that you need to be working on. If you've got this far, lovelies, please do give me a thumbs up. That'd be so lovely. I haven't finished, by the way. There's a little bit more. I've got a little bit more to tell you. And yeah, feel free to subscribe as well. Now, the other thing about Libra's energy now is because it's initiating this release to create harmony, you are going to need some private release time where you can create an understanding of what it is that you need to do after the eclipse has closed out. What are the steps you need to take after the eclipse closes out, right? Now, our intentions for this new moon are what needs to be sorted out in your relationship. Have a look at your relationship. What's irritating you? What isn't working for you? What situations in your life need closing out? What areas are not good? What are you living somewhere you don't like? Do you need to change that up? Then there's that to look at. Get your intentions very strong, but make them very personal about under the Libra themes of harmony, relationship harmony. Also with the idea with Venus in Scorpio, how you can be a little bit stronger but inverted, thinking internally, how you can make things better. It may not be in a as harmonious a way as Libra would do it because of the Scorpio attention. However, it'll be really, really good for you. So there you go, my lovelies. That is your beautiful new moon report. And it didn't turn out into a mini one, did it? Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Do check out my website if you're interested in anything, and check out the videos above at your leisure. Send you all so much love. Bye bye. Take care. Bye. Bye everyone. Bye.